welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Let's hope that I can get through this video without a fussy baby. Poor little Augie, you guys, he is getting all 4 of his teeth on the top and all 4 of his teeth on the bottom all at once. So it's been a crazy time in our lives, but overall he has been pretty good, so I thank the Lord for that. In today's video, we're talking all about breastfeeding and formula, and we're going to be comparing the two. I'm going to be talking about some common misconceptions when it comes to breastfeeding and formula, and we're going to have fun and just talk about some true and false topics and statements. So if that kind of video interests you or you think it will benefit you, then join us, come along for the ride, and let's get into the video. So I just want to put a little disclaimer out there. This video is not intended to pass any judgment on to moms who formula feed. I truly believe that a happy baby is a fed baby, and yeah, I'm not in any position, I have no right and no intention to pass any judgment onto moms who formula feed. That being said, I will just share my opinion on it, and my opinion is that if everything was in ideal circumstances, you have a happy, healthy baby, mama is happy and healthy and she's producing milk, and everything is as it should be in the ideal world, then I don't see why you wouldn't choose to breastfeed. And I'm going to be kind of getting into that and the reason why I believe that throughout the rest of the video. Okay, so number 1, breastfeeding provides optimal nutrition for your baby. This is 100% true. Breastfeeding is way better than formula because it provides a perfect balance of nutrition specific to meet your baby's changing nutritional needs. And it also has tons of antibodies in it to prevent from like sickness and illness and any infection. Breastfeeding can also reduce the risk of any like health conditions for a mom and a baby. And it also provides emotional benefits for both of us. While formula still provides efficient and adequate nutrition, it doesn't meet these same unique benefits that breastfeeding does. It does lack on all of those different aspects. So for me personally, I do choose to breastfeed, but recently I had to go shopping for some formula because I ran out of my supply in my deep freeze and Augie was going to his grandma's for the night. And honestly, me and my husband were shocked at the ingredients list on the formula. Like, it has corn syrup in a lot of these formula brands, and it has tons of like added things where you're like, why would they need to put that in there? It just doesn't really make sense. So we were shopping around like a lot to try to find one that seemed like it had a clean ingredients list, and we went to this like health food store. And it was expensive. Like, they have formula, a normal size formula pack for like $100. It was like $97.99. And I know that that's very unaffordable, and it is. It's really unaffordable. It's really, really expensive, but it goes to show that there is a difference with the quality. There's a reason why they have organic ones with simple ingredients, that don't have corn syrup and these sugars and all these extra things, and why those would be more expensive. So it really makes you wonder, like, what is actually being given to our baby. Another thing that I was really, really shocked about is right on the box of formula in big letters, big bold letters, it says breastfeeding is best for your baby. And I was very taken back by that because I take that statement very seriously. We live in a world where there are many ingredients and products that are banned in certain countries but are allowed in others. I know for Canada, there's lots of things that Canada and America will allow in their foods that like Europe will not allow. But the thing is that Canada and America, they don't put a label on our food when it's something that isn't safe or that is something banned in another country. Come here. Come here. I live in a country where they do not warn us in any which way what we are eating. If I go to the store and I get a bag of chips and it has maltodextrin in it, they're not putting a label on my bag of chips saying that that is cancerous. But in other parts of the world, like that's what I'm saying, they have stricter laws in place to not allow cancerous, unhealthy foods and ingredients in our products. So if my formula box in big bold letters states that breastfeeding is best, I'm gonna take that very seriously because we live in a government that doesn't often do that. They don't often warn us and they don't often put a label. So if they're gonna go out of their way to put that label, I'm gonna take it seriously. Number 2, this is that only women with large breasts are gonna be able to produce enough milk for their babies. And this is absolutely false. I know that it may sound like a little bit silly to even bring up, but I do think it's like a genuine question that small-chested women have. And I'm here to give you some self-confidence. If you are a part of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, I'm here to tell you it does not matter. Your baby will be fed and happy regardless of the size of your knockers. Number 3. Breast milk changes in composition as your baby grows and their nutritional needs change. It's honestly so cool. It's like magic. One of the perfect examples of this is when you first have your baby. When you first have your baby, your body produces what's called colostrum. It's like this thick yellow stuff and it's called liquid gold because it's just so healthy for your baby. But as baby grows, that slowly is removed from your breast milk because baby no longer needs it. Another great example of how your breast milk changes is if you or baby are ever exposed to a bacteria or a virus, your breast milk will put those antibodies in that to help fight off that like infection or that illness. So it's really, really cool. So that is why breastfeeding is so unique, because every single day it's tailored specifically to your baby. Every single feed is unique for your baby. Whereas formula, it comes in a box and it's like a one-fits-all kind of scenario. Every single time you feed your baby, it's the same product, where breastfeeding is unique every single time. Formula does come in a step 1 and a step 2. So step 1 is usually given from like 0 to 6 months, and then step 2 is given from like 6 months onward. So they do have that variation, but like for the most part, it's like a one size fits all. Number 4, breastfeeding comes natural and is easy for every mother and baby. This is very, very false. There are many circumstances and situations that can make it very challenging for a mom or a baby or both to breastfeed, and it definitely isn't easy for everyone. And there definitely needs to be that support there to help mothers and babies maneuver through these challenges. One very common issue is the difficulty with latching. This can be due to many different reasons. It can be the baby's mouth anatomy, it can be the mother's nipple shape, it can be previous breast surgeries, so there's lots of different factors that come into play here. There are many other common issues like bleeding and cracked nipples, which makes it very, very painful to breastfeed. There's engorgement when your breasts are just so full of milk and it can be painful. There's matitis, which means if all of the milk isn't expressed fully and properly, you can get an infection in your breast. And of course, there's low milk supply. So there's so many different very common issues related to breastfeeding that can make it seem very unnatural and very difficult for mothers and babies. My recommendation, if you are either scared of having these complications or you currently are having these complications, definitely seek out some kind of support system. For both of my babies, even though I was like a confident breastfeeder, I loved going to the, what are they called? Healthy Beginnings. They're called Healthy Beginnings. They check in on mom and baby and they watch you breastfeed. They offer you tips and I loved it. Like, It was so nice to be in a room with another woman who was knowledgeable and could help me and offered me advice, because it is a very stressful time. So to have that support and feel like you have somebody to talk to and work out any potential problems you may have, it feels really good that we have that in place. Number 5, breastfeeding provides emotional benefits both for a mom and a baby. For a baby, breastfeeding is their comfort, it's their safe place. If you combine breastfeeding with skin-to-skin contact, it's like a really secure bond between mother and baby. For a mom, when a mom breastfeeds, it actually releases hormones such as oxytocin, which relaxes and calms a mom. And we all know when a mom is calm and relaxed, she can better bond with her baby. Breastfeeding also tends to just give women this huge sense of empowerment, and they feel so proud of themselves, because breastfeeding does come with its challenges and it does take a big time commitment. So being able to look at your baby and be like, how did I raise them from a little tiny seed all the way past until they were born, and then now they're a 6-month-old baby and they're having their first taste of food from the real world. It's like this surreal feeling, and it is really something to be proud of. Number 6, you should stop breastfeeding when your baby starts to get teeth. This is a big no-no. This is definitely false. Baby getting teeth is definitely not a good enough reason to stop breastfeeding. I feel like this is where a lot of women will stop breastfeeding because of the pain and discomfort that can come from breastfeeding a teething baby. I'm not gonna lie, there are probably gonna be quite a few nibbles and bites to your boob, but trust me, it gets better. It's just a phase. Babies literally need to learn how to breastfeed properly with their new addition of those cute little teeth they have in their mouth, and they do learn. I breastfed my daughter from 0 to 18 months, and even with a full set of teeth, she did not cause me any pain, and it was really good. And in fact, if your baby is teething, breastfeeding your baby actually helps them feel better. It's very soothing for them. Just try to remember that when a baby bites while they're breastfeeding, it's just a temporary behavior, and you can work through that with your baby and teach them not to bite. Number 7, breastfeeding is a cost-effective way to feed your baby. That is so true. When I went formula shopping, I could not believe the prices of formula, and a box of formula does not last a long time. The average box I found, they're relatively all the same size, they're around $80. And I wouldn't be surprised to say it lasts less than a week, a week maybe. They don't last very long, and they're so expensive. Plus, anytime I have used formula and made a bottle for convenience, it literally was not convenient at all. The whole process of sterilizing bottles, boiling the water, letting them cool, you're not supposed to prep them in advance. It actually, in my opinion, takes a whole lot more work, more money, more effort, more everything to formula feed. You always have your tatas on you, so whenever your baby's hungry, yank him out, feed your baby. It doesn't get more simple than that. I don't know what to say. Number 8, breastfeeding is painful. This is definitely false. Breastfeeding is not supposed to be painful. If it hurts when you breastfeed, then there's something wrong. It's either your baby isn't latched properly or you have an infection. There's something not right, because breastfeeding should never hurt. So if you find that when you breastfeed it hurts, I'd suggest going to get some help. They'll look at how you're latching, they'll hear for the baby's sucking noises, and they'll try to help you to their best of their ability. That being said, I do believe it takes a little bit of time for your nipple to become a little less sensitive. When I first had my daughter, she was the first time I ever breastfed, and my nipples were cracking and they were bleeding, and it was really painful. But upon getting some expert advice, I did learn that that was due to an improper latch. So I think it's just a learning curve, but it definitely should not hurt. Number 9, if you lose your supply or your supply drops, you can get it back. This is definitely true. I have been there numerous times. Please don't get discouraged if you lose your supply. I know it can be stressful and it kind of feels like you have a lot of work ahead of you, but you can get it back and it's well worth it. I remember going on a little weekend trip with my husband when I had my daughter, and it was so hot outside. We had like heat stroke or something. We were sick from the heat and my milk dried up. I had no more milk. Like, I pumped and I was dry. And all I did was continue to breastfeed. I did not supplement with formula. Alethea was hungry and she kept feeding on my boob, and that stimulated my body to make milk. Hydrate yourself, drink a lot of water, you have to pump a lot, and you will be able to increase your supply for sure. To be honest, I'm kind of there right now with Augie. I've just been a little bit busier than usual, and I've been missing feedings, and my supply has dropped. So that is what I'm currently going through. I'm gonna have to be pumping, and I gotta get my supply back up. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. It is possible. Okay, number 10, we're on our last point, and that is that you're not allowed to breastfeed if you're taking medication. This one is also false. You are still allowed to breastfeed while you're taking medication, just not every medication. So you have to make sure you're doing your research, you're talking to your doctor to see which medications you can and cannot take while you breastfeed. While there are some limited medications that would have a negative effect to your baby, most medications are perfectly safe while you're breastfeeding. If a mother does need to be on medication while she's breastfeeding, all she needs to do is consult a doctor to see what the best option is. Sometimes a doctor will suggest an alternative medicine that will still do the same job, but that is considered safe while you're breastfeeding. So I'm gonna end off today's video here. I hope this video was just very knowledgeable and helped you distinguish the pros and cons and the differences between formula and breastfeeding. Again, fed baby is a happy baby, but if you are in the boat where you're pregnant right now and you're just like tied, you just don't know what to do, you don't know if you want to formula feed or breastfeed, I hope this video gave you enough information to make an informed decision, because it is a big decision and it does have an impact on your baby. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you thought it helped you out, then give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye!